Okay, to do this, first of all, you want to gain, if for example, this question given is 5 marks. Okay, how am I going to not to lose all my 5 marks? Even the expression is very difficult. Okay, so first of all, very first thing, when you talk about first principle, I have to get the average rate of change. From x equal to 2 to x equal to 2 plus h. Am I right? So that is what you should do. So how we represent this by, if I let this be point A and let this be point B, then I will have to find slope of the chord AB. So if you are able to do this part, yes? Okay. If you are able to do this part, you will get 1 mark already. So it's just a matter of substitute in. Do you get me? So which means that when I start my answer, I will do it like that. Okay, point A. So this is the first thing that you have to do so that you can at least get 1 mark. My x is equal to 2. So my y will be equal to 2 to the power of 3 over 2. If you don't know what is this value, you just leave it. Yeah. So how to get this value? So you have to go back to your indices. All right. If I have a to the power n over m, so this will mean root of m and power n. You can do it the other way around. You can also write it the other way around. But for this case, do it like that will be much better. You get me? Do it like this will be much better. So this will be equal to, can you please apply that and get it as a single number? That is for this case. You need to have this in order for you to simplify the number. Are you clear? Different cases will be different. So the part on simplification, that is, you have to practice different questions to get the skill. Okay. Have you got that? Okay, so this will be square root of 2 cubed. Right? So for this case, I will just put square root of 8. I don't want to change it to any other thing. Because if I change it as a number times by another number, then it will trouble myself. I will trouble myself. When I come to substitute finding, simplify the slope of the chord. Okay, so my point B will be x equal to 2 plus h. Okay, so my y plus h to the power of 3 over 2. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so the question, you just ignore it first. Huh? I don't know what happened. Connection problem. That's why they cut off, then they come back again. Okay, so just now I say for the first principle, I repeat again. For the first principle, the first thing is you have to find the average rate of change. Okay. Okay, so how we do? Just now, I put A, x equal to 2. So my y will be equal to cube square root. Okay. What system I use? I use this. A to the power n over m is root of m and a to the power n. Okay. Then for point B, my x is equal to 2 plus h. So my y will be equal to square root of 2 plus h cube. Okay, do you all know how to expand cube? Okay. Do you all know how to expand cube? You all take IGCSE O level, correct? You should know how to expand binomial expansion. Anyone have idea what is binomial expansion? So how do you expand this? May I know? You slowly expand it out. Okay, then in exam, it will take you a long time. So what we do is we do by memorizing it. So there's a few ways of memorizing it. You can use Pascal triangle. Have you used Pascal triangle before? Do you know what is Pascal triangle? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so if you are following international school from primary school, in primary 4 or 5, they know what is Pascal triangle already. Okay, Pascal triangle is to tell you the structure of a number. Okay, you start with 1. If I have a variable a, so this one tell you the coefficient of a. So if I have 2 variables, a plus b. So whatever number there is the coefficient. So the next one will be a plus b squared. So it will be 1, 2, 1. 1 plus 1 equal to 2. So that means it will be a squared. Every term, your expansion will be degree 2. Plus the second term, the coefficient is 2. Plus b squared. Power for a is 2. Power for b is 0 for the first one. So it's still degree 2. See or not? So the power of a drop, power of b go up by 1. So that is how the system go. So the expansion for a plus b cube will be 1. 1 plus 2. 2 plus 1. And 1. So this is called Pascal triangle. That is how you go. So the expansion will be a cube plus coefficient of the second term 3, a square b plus 3 ab squared and plus b cube. So every term will be cubic. So actually this is quite easy to memorize. Cube power 3, correct? You see 1, 3, 3, 1. Altogether got 4 terms when you expand. Power 2, 2 terms. Power 2, you expand, you got 3 terms. Power 3, inside got 2 terms, you expand, you got 4 terms. So if go 4, then you can build your Pascal triangle as you go. If you don't want to use your Pascal triangle, you can use what do you call by your combination. So this is 3C0, 3C1, 3C2, 3C3. Are you okay? So this is how you get the coefficient when you do expansion like that. So this is called binomial expansion, or this is called Pascal triangle. Okay, that help you to expand quickly. Combination means how many groups. Are you clear? So this is what you learn in your additional max or in your lower form. Binomial expansion, that is we so-called. Yeah, unless you are from SPM, you may not see this before. Okay. So with this in hand, then I should be able to do this quickly. Okay. So these are all the skill. Can or not? Expansion skill. Okay. So I erase this off, so that I can talk about first principle smoothly. Okay. Okay. So now I will expand this as square root of two cube is 8, correct? Plus 2 square is 4. 4 times 3, 12. Is there anyone on the video? Can you off the video? Is there anyone switch on the video? Can you off your video? Off your video, please. Off your video. I myself on the video. Okay, no wonder. Why you all don't tell me? Okay. So I'm not going to write that one. So sorry for all the disturbance. Okay. So I go to point B straight away. That is my x equal to 2 plus h. Sorry, so the thing will be broken. Hope your mind are not. So the y will be equal to square root of 2 plus h the whole thing cube. So it will be, according to our expansion just now, it have to be, make sure I record. It have to be 8. 2 cube is 8, correct? Plus 3 times of 2 square. That is 12, correct? I don't know what happened whenever I come to this, or 2h, 12h, right? You give me 1 minute. My hand is to that one. When I touch that one. Okay, 12h plus 3 times of 2 times h squared, correct? That is 6h squared plus h cubed. Okay, therefore, the slope of the chord AB. So I will get equal to, okay, you just do like that. Okay, by doing this correct, you get 2 marks already. Even just now you didn't expand, correct? If you substitute in like that, listen, if you just put slope of the chord, that is equal to 2 plus h, the whole thing to the power of 3 over 2, take away 2 to the power of 3 over 2, the whole thing divided by h. Okay, listen here. In doing this, you get 2 points. So the simplified part, okay, my aim is, do you know what is first principle? So you get 2 points already. So you don't just because the question you don't know how to simplify, you get stuck, right? You don't want to do anything about it. If you do this, I give you 2 points. You see or not? Okay. So then from now on, okay, now the simplified part, I will give you 1 point only. So when I simplify this, you know, you got square root, correct? So sometimes you want to simplify fast, you make sure you memorize it. So when you see square root like that, I straight away operate in my mind. I time with the conjugate, correct? Am I right? So I write down the conjugate here. That's why you want to prepare for a test, correct? You make sure you know, if I see this, I must do that. That's it. Plus, close. So all these are simplified. This step, you think I will give you mark? Not necessary. Okay, so then you go 8 minus 8, no more, correct? You don't have to write down. You don't have to write down, open the bracket. So 12h plus 6h squared plus h cubed. There is a h there for everyone, correct? So you can factorize out the h. So you see, you save a lot of your time. Okay, then you just take a pencil and you cancel this off. I cancel, I erase. Because h cannot be 0. So you fail to simplify, correct? You only lose 1 mark. Then how to gain another mark? How to get gain another mark? You will do like that. You will say, therefore, dy dx is equal to limit h tends towards 0. And if you don't want to write all these numbers, correct, you just can write slope of the chord here. But if you didn't do this step, correct, you write down this one, doesn't mean I will give you mark. You see, this step is a must. Without that step, writing this step, mark will not be given. You get me? Okay. So if you write down that one, then you just write. So you just simply put a number, you don't know, ma? Correct? So you just put down, then I will give you 1 mark on this. So in total, if it's 5 marks, correct, you only lose 2 marks. Do you get me? But if you didn't do this two, you don't expect me to give you mark for the 3rd mark. Are you clear? So if you don't know how to simplify, it doesn't mean that is the end. You still can work from there. Are you clear? So now, so as h approaches 0, the top here will approach 12. Am I right? Literally, you put h equal to 0. But you please don't write it down. You write it down here. Because you have no right to put h as 0 in the working. Because we read as h approaches 0, 12 plus 6h plus h squared approaches 12. That is how it should be in our mind. Are you clear? Okay, divided by. This one will approach 8. Am I right? So I write square root of 8 plus square root of 8. So the rest will be simplified. So if you find that it's hard to simplify, take you a long time to simplify, I will forgo this 1 mark so that I can have time to do the work that I know how to do. Because from the past, a lot of my students fumble on first principle because they take a long time. 5 marks. Do you know you only can use 7 minutes to complete it? If you use longer than 7 minutes, you better run. You see or not? I will do this. I will leave some space. Then after that, when I got time, only I come and slowly simplify it. That is called exam technique. You don't insist, I must get the answer. If not, I won't go to the next one. You just do whatever you know how to do. Okay, so how to simplify this? This will be 12 over 1 root 8 plus 1 root 8. I got 2 root 8. Okay, so I can simplify this, become 6 over root 8. Then root 8, I can also simplify it to become 2 root 2. Any question on that? Yes or no? No, you should know how to change. I have taught you how to change. 8 is 4 times 2. So root 4 is 2. So you cancel. So I got 3 root 2 over 2. So that 1 mark is here. So if you are a person who is very familiarized with this, you don't have to go through this step by step. You just write this answer, I will give you 1 mark. Hello? Do you get me? You can't afford to write every single thing that you substitute, every single thing that you simplify, every single thing. You have no time to do that. The more you write, sometime in maths, the more mistake we make. Agree with me? So that's why when you do maths, correct, in a higher level, there are certain steps we have to use our mental, arithmetic, and count first, then put down the answer. So don't pamper your mind. Next, SAT onward, if you got your calculator, you let the calculator handle it. You see what I mean? The more step you write, the worse it becomes. Are you okay? Can or not? Can. Okay, ready for the next one? My style, no need. Unless you are using this formula, for example. Okay? dy dx. If I straight away use this formula, then I have to. Then I have to. Are you clear? Then I have to do Are you clear? Okay, if you are straight away using this formula, f prime x is equal to limit h tends towards 0, f x plus h minus fx over h. Or if this is a, you just replace all this with a. You write down this formula, there is no mark. Okay? If you write down this formula, you don't expect me to give you mark. I only will give you mark at this place. You substitute correctly. You get me? That means in this case, I will substitute it like that. dy dx equal to limit h tends towards 0, 2 plus h to the power of 3 over 2 minus 2 to the power of 3 over 2, the whole thing divided by h. You substitute this correctly, I give you 2 marks. Writing formula, no mark. Clear? And if you are using this, then you have to write limit all the way through. All must have limit. Then your final answer will be 3 root 2 over 2. Then you gain all your 5 marks. I didn't say you have to write limit all the way through for my method. Because my method, right from the very beginning, I say this is a slope of the chord. I'm just finding the average rate of change. Then only I come to the limit. In the exam, I can ask you, what do you mean by? I can ask you this question. So that's why when you use a formula, you make sure you know what is the formula about. I can ask you, what is the meaning of this whole thing? I will say as h approaches 0, the average rate of change approaches the instantaneous rate of change at x equal to 2. Can I ask? Can. So that is the meaning. That is the meaning of dy dx. How you get from average rate of change to become instantaneous rate of change. See? When you study maths, you have to know the meaning. And if the question asks for geometrical interpretation, please write down. I'm not going to write this one down for you. If the question asks for geometrical interpretation for this, geometrical, geometrical interpretation. If you tell me it's rate of change, you get 0. Geometrical interpretation, you must say slope of the curve at x equal to 2. Or slope of the tangent or gradient of the tangent at x equal to 2. If you just tell me slope of the tangent, I give you 0 mark also. At where? So you can't miss out any of the word there. You must tell me at which position. So you see how precise maths must be. If I ask for geometrical interpretation, you must tell me that 3 root 2 over 2 is the slope of the tangent at x equal to 2. If I ask you to interpret only, you can give me both. You can say gradient of the tangent, you can say rate of change. But geometrical must be gradient. At which point? Clear? Hello, young man, want to sleep? COVID make you sleep. So, which means that you can do. Are you clear? So first principle, don't be so frightened of it because of the simplification part. Just make sure you know how to gain mark from that. So the simplified part, you have to go and study the skill. So those who want to get A+, you have no choice. You have to know all ways of simplification. There is expectation from A+ student. Clear? Okay, done. So I've given you one question. So exercise 2A, any question? Do you have any question in exercise 2A? You don't tell me you didn't bring your book, huh? I record down. So I give you a function. First of all, you have to determine the domain first. So this is the first thing that you have to do. When you want to draw a sign diagram, first thing you have to do. Okay, second thing that you have to do, you have to find the x-intercept. Okay, please find the x-intercept. Hurry up. I'm teaching you how to draw sign diagram. You come out in the exam, you didn't say I didn't teach, huh? So x squared, if you can do it fast, you go ahead and do. I'm not going to stop you from that. Yeah. So it will be x squared minus 3x plus 2 equal to 0. So x minus 2, x minus 1. So x-intercept is x equal to 2 and x equal to 1. All right? And this is quadratic, correct? You will know the sign, am I right? So you will know the graph, that is how it goes. It passed through this point, 1, and it passed through this point, 2. So the graph go like that, correct? Yeah. So what is a sign diagram? A sign diagram will be a diagram that only make up of the x-axis without the y-axis. Clear? So I mark down 1, mark down 2. Okay? For x less than 1, y is greater than 0, correct? So I put a positive sign here. So this is called a sign diagram. So the positive sign is telling you that for x less than 1, y is greater than 0. That's all. Okay, for x between 1 and 2, y is less than 0, correct? So I put the sign negative. You can put it up there or you can put it down there. It doesn't matter. One of my students told me that, hey, Mr. Why don't you put it down there so I can remember that it's less than 0? Okay, I said, go ahead. No one stopped you from doing that. A very creative student. Usually we put it all on top. So he want to make sure he know what is it. So he said, I put it at the bottom. So now I know that it's below the x-axis. So if for x greater than 2, y will be greater than 0. So I put the positive. So I give you a sign diagram that you can interpret back into here. So if I ask you, find the range of x for which x squared minus 3x plus 2 is greater than 0. So you will give me the answer as this region and this region. X less than 1 but greater than 2. Are you clear? Hello? So a sign diagram is a very good tool to solve inequality. Isn't it? Any of your high school teacher teach you how to solve inequality using sign diagram? Then you will be very familiar with sign diagram. I taught that to my student also, because I find that this is a much better tool. Like for other function, how am I going to know the sign? You have to test. Okay, the test part, I will leave it to you to find out. And this sign diagram is a very useful tool for our chapter 3. I don't want to introduce here. The reason is because for your test, the sign diagram is a very simple one. Okay? Are you clear? And for chapter 3, the sign diagram will be harder, but we can test by using our graphic calculator. So the working will be very fast. Clear? Okay, so now you understand what is a sign diagram? That's all. It's a very simple concept. So you just need to remember, first, you have to know the domain. Second, you have to know the x-intercept. Okay, if you get that right, even if you don't know the sign, if I ask you to draw a sign diagram, you only miss out 1 mark. Okay, so are you clear? Okay, thank you, class.